Hello everyone and welcome to ErebosGaming. Got a Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns footage here for you, and this is family food. One of the first ones you'll probably find in Yusnaan, and you need to talk to Seedy.
Welcome! A customer! This is so exciting! What can I get you?
Well, what do you serve?
Anything you want. How about the chef's special made from top quality recycled materials? Deep fried niblet hairballs.
Are you sure that's actually edible?
Oh yes, it definitely won't kill you, I can guarantee it. And since you're my first customer in days, no charge.
Nothing ventured.
That's the spirit. Take the plunge, I say. Well, does it make your taste buds sing? Are you transported to culinary heaven?
This is...
Too tart? Too much salt, perhaps? I can brush it off if you like.
No, it's actually really good.
God, that is a relief. I mean, of course it's good. I knew you'd love it. I've been working on the recipe for weeks. Unfortunately, it's not very nutritious. People are more health conscious these days, which is ironic considering the times.
Nutritious or not, you'd think that more people would come back for this.
I think it must be me. I just don't have a head for business. No matter how hard I work, I just can't seem to attract more customers. I've been living on the brink of financial ruin for years now. My son got sick of it, so he left.
You've got the chops to be a good cook, though. Why don't you try to find yourself a partner? You know, someone you trust who has a better head for business.
Now that you mention it, I hear there's a famous food expert here in Yusnan. Apparently he specializes in turning around lost causes like mine. I'll bet... No, I know he could help me, but how do I find him? All I know is his name.
And what is it?
Gordon Gourmet. Despite his fame, he's hard to track down. If you do happen to run into him, could you tell him about Seedy's?
So, we have to track down Gordon Gourmet.
I'll remember it.
Which is pretty simple.
You are far too kind. Thank you so much. I hope you find him soon.
He's not too far away from him. This quest will be a lot of backwards and forwards, so I do apologise for the length of it, but if you want to know where you've got to go, I thought I'd include the running, and also we need to include the comments and talking so you know what's going on. So Gordon Gourmet is located here.
Tell me, are you the famous food expert?
Possibly. I do boast a certain renown in culinary circles. It cannot be denied. I see. Seedy's restaurant, you say? I do hate to see a good restaurant go undiscovered by the dining public.
So, will you help him out? I can take you right there.
Oh no. Seedy's restaurant? I'm afraid you will have to find someone else. I'm sorry.
I can't persuade you?
Impossible. This city is overflowing with restaurants crying out for the deft helping hand of Gordon Gourmet. I'm run ragged trying to keep up. And, well, you see... Right, my rule. I have an ironclad policy. I cannot help an establishment unless the owner approaches me directly.
You just made that up, didn't you? All right, can you do this for me? Just give me some advice now and I'll pass it along to the owner. You don't have to come to the restaurant at all.
That sounds reasonable. I mean, I'd hate to see a restaurant serving fried niblet hairballs go under. Except, if I give advice, I need to make sure that it is communicated accurately, with total precision. And that means my messenger has to understand the instructions perfectly.
Well, I guess that rules me out. I don't know the first thing about fine dining.
Oh, you don't have to be a top chef, or even a garde-manger. All you need is a discerning palate. Practically anyone can acquire one with a little training.
I'm not sure what you mean by a discerning palate, but I don't think I have one.
Trust me when I say it can be found. In fact, a tour of the best establishments of the Glutton's quarters should do.
So, what we have to do now is we have to eat at 6 of the locations. They're all located very close to each other again. And we're going to go in one big circle. So first up we've got the meat grill.
Step right up, get the best meat and kebabs in Yusnan.
And just buy the cheapest.
Our meat is shipped directly from the wildlands. We use only
Or the most
natural
expensive,
ingredients,
depends
none
how
of that
much
synthetic
gill you
stuff.
really want to waste.
Grilling and roasting are the best. The key is knowing how to seal in the juices and flavors. And we do that better than anyone else.
So that's 1 down, 5 to go. The next one's just up here, and this is the fish.
Every one of our fish is fresh caught.
Fishy flavours, sorry. The fish.
We get our seafood fresh every morning. Comes straight out of the ocean. Tastes great raw or grilled. A chef is even more important when preparing uncooked dishes. The way you slice a tuna makes all the difference in the world.
So that's 2, 4 left. Other one's just a bit up towards your right, and this is the sip and stand and sip, sorry.
Welcome! How can I be of help? From the elegant simplicity of straight spirits on the rocks to complex and fruity concoctions with little umbrellas, we serve all kinds of drinks. Cocktails can be served, chilled or warm, shaken or stirred. Everyone has their own preferences. We encourage customers to consult with our staff to create the perfect cocktail to accompany their evening.
That's 3 down. Now we're going to go to the veggie parlour.
Come enjoy the healthy fruits of the earth! Even kids who hate greens love my veggie dishes. Vitamins in vegetables are determined by their color. You want a wide variety for a well-balanced diet.
And your final 2 are on your way back to Gordon Gourmet. They've got the Terrace Cafe.
We have a popular selection of sweets. Our customers come here to put down their shopping bags and rest their weary feet. Our cakes and sweets are the perfect pick-me-up for just about everyone. We put a lot of love into our cakes, and that's what makes them so good. They're like treats for your palate and soul.
And the final one is located where Gordon Gourmet is. So just up the steps. You have to talk to this guy here in the banquet, the Lord's Banquet. Let's get Snow Special.
When offering a complete dining experience to discerning patrons, superb food and excellent drinks are not enough. One must always anticipate the needs of your patrons. I am constantly assessing the dining space from the viewpoint of my customers, the comfort, the decor. Our customers want more than just a meal. They come for the memories they can savor for years to come.
Right, that's all 6, so I'll talk to Gordon Gourmet again.
Well, how goes the culinary tour?
I did what you suggested. I visited the top restaurants in the neighborhood.
That is excellent news. So now let me give you the advice I promised. If Seedy's restaurant wants to turn its business around... wait, let me ask you something first. You've eaten at Seedy's and at the best establishments in Yusnaan. Why don't you tell me what you think is the main difference between the two? I'd be interested to hear your opinion. In your own words, of course.
Why? Is this some kind of test?
Yes, exactly. Now tell me, what did all the successful restaurants have in common that poor old Seedy's lacks?
Let me see. Everyone I spoke to was helpful. They seemed honest and open. I don't think they were lying to me, but something seemed off.
Oh, would you care to elaborate?
Well, it almost felt like they were hiding something from the customers. But it wasn't as if they were deliberately lying or trying to deceive anyone. In fact, I don't think they realized it themselves. They thought they were telling me everything they knew. Yes, that's it. It was unconscious, like an instinct. They were hiding something, but they weren't doing it deliberately at all. I'd say the very best chefs, restaurant managers, and bartenders all share some kind of secret. It's like a special ingredient that makes their food stand out from the others.
What a wonderful deduction. You have hit the nail on the head. To think you discovered this answer only after visiting a few establishments. It is as you say, the best, most successful restaurants have a certain je ne sais quoi, a secret something that makes their offerings unique. And finding that something, that is what I do best. In other words, if the restaurant does not already have a special something, then I simply cannot help it.
Then what about Seedy's? Do you think you can help him?
I can tell you this, the chef there already knows his secret. The talent is there to make that restaurant a success. Unfortunately for him, the secret spice that gives his dishes flair is extremely rare. He cannot secure supplies, and that is why he struggles. Let me be specific. Once upon a time, Seedy's recipes all featured the spice commonly known as civet musk. But then supplies dried up and the restaurant fell into a long decline.
You seem to know a lot about Seedy's.
Well, a long time ago, let's just say we have a close history and leave it at that.
Fine by me. All I need to know is that if I can find this spice, the restaurant should start bringing in customers.
Yes, exactly. The problem is the spice is not easy to find. In fact, the only way to acquire it would be to defeat certain monsters. Such a shame. All for want of a single spice, his restaurant is failing. He has the recipe for success. He just needs the final ingredient.
Right, now we have to find a Schrodinger. Fortunately, there's one that spawns specifically for this mission. And it is located in Central Avenue. A quick look at the map there, it's just down from your current location.
Listening to scraps of advice from chefs won't make me an expert. Besides, most of what they told me was common sense.
And it will be just after this hotel here. It'll be in that corner there. There's a spawn. Pretty simple to kill, just go at him with deprotecting in peril as usual. Give him a couple of arrows and finish him off with a power attack. And as you can see, upon killing that, we get the Civet Musk. So now we need to take that back to Gordon Gourmet, and we'll see what we have to do next.
Can't you find somewhere else to be?
Ha! I'd recognize that fragrance anywhere. You found Civet Musk. Thank you indeed. It's very kind what you're doing. Seedy's is lucky to have you on its side.
Why are you thanking me? If anyone should be grateful, it's me, and the owner of Seedy's, for all of your helpful advice.
Oh, quite so. When you put it that way, of course you're right. I just get caught up in a project and start thinking it's my own restaurant I'm saving. But back to business. Here, I developed this new and original recipe. I want you to take it back to Seedy's together with the Civet Musk you acquired. The owner will be waiting anxiously for you.
So, you still don't want to meet him yourself?
I'm afraid that won't happen. Not ever again. However, that doesn't stop me from wishing him and Seedy's the very best. Please tell him that whatever happens, I'll be praying for his success.
Right, so now we have to drop this off at Seedy's. Again, another drop off.
You mean the story about his son that ran away from home when the restaurant started struggling? Great minds hope.
It's a pretty simple mission. You do have to go backwards and forwards quite a bit. At least it gives you a bit more into it rather than just give me this. You know, you have to fight a boss and do a little bit of searching.
You should make it with this Civet Musk. Do that and you'll be able to save your restaurant. At least, that's what he said.
Why, thank you! This is wonderful! How can I ever repay you? This is incredible! Everything is here in black and white! A groundbreaking dish! I'd never have thought to do half the things in this recipe. The genius of Gordon Gourmet oozes from every word.
Notice anything else?
About the recipe? No, not particularly. It's well organized, written in a clear hand. Wait. This handwriting, it looks strangely familiar. Yes, I've seen it before. These swirls, these bold loops. Could it be?
I think so. It turns out Gordon Gourmet has a secret identity. He's your long-lost son.
He is? And you're sure it was him who created this wonderful recipe? But more importantly, he's in this town. Is he happy?
You have nothing to worry about. He's doing great. Except, I'm really sorry, but I don't think he wants to see you again. I can't tell you where he is.
But why? Yes, we quarreled when he left, but that was a long time ago. Is he still angry at me?
Do you have a message for him? I can make sure he gets it.
Well, how about this? I'm gonna make his dish just like the recipe lays out. Would you be so good as to deliver it to him? At the very least, I want him to try it. Truth be told, what I really want to tell him is to come back to Seedy's and work with me. Perhaps if he knew that I still haven't lost my touch. Would that be enough to entice him back? I don't know.
I don't think words alone will do it, but if he tries your dish and likes it, that might be enough for him.
And there it is, finished at last. Here, please, I want you to be the first to taste it.
All right. I'm feeling hungry anyway. Wow. This might be the most delicious thing I've ever had in my entire life. Really, it's incredible.
Why, thank you. Although all the credit must go to my son, it was his doing. Here, I've made enough for one more. I've asked you for many favors, but would you do this last thing for me?
Sure. I'll take it to Gordon Gourmet.
Right, this is the final step. So now that he's created his new recipe, we want Gordon Gourmet to test it out and see what he thinks. And if you haven't already guessed, Gordon Gourmet is Seedy's son. They had a little falling out, as you will find out in this little conversation here.
Oh, do I smell what I think I smell? I do, don't I? That must be my recipe.
Yes, the owner at Seedy's insisted that I bring you a portion so you could taste it for yourself.
I see. Well, then... Oh, yes. A perfect balance of fuzzy mutton and civet musk. The palate sings. It's a microcosm of culinary delight. A theme park of olfactory and gustatory attractions. And if you think that's hyperbole, I've only just begun. This is even better than I imagined. I always knew he was a skilled chef, but this...
So, why don't you go back there and help him out again in the kitchen?
Go back? What do you mean? I've never... Oh, all right. The cat's out of the bag. You've somehow figured it out. What my true identity is. Yes, I admit it. I am indeed the son of the owner of Seedy's restaurant. It was a long time ago, but one day we quarreled, and I left the shop vowing never to return. We fought over cooking, you see. But even after I left, I vowed that one day I would rebuild the restaurant. That's what started me on my journey to becoming Gordon Gourmet. Since then, I devoted every waking hour to learning about the culinary arts. After many years of study, I finally had an epiphany. I realized what Seedy's restaurant needed to regain its former glory.
You had a falling out because of the menu? But when your father saw your recipe, he was thrilled. All he could talk about was how he dreamed of you coming back. So the two of you could run the restaurant together, just like old times.
So he recognizes my ability. Oh, but it's too late. I can't go back now. The fact is, I abandoned him in the restaurant when times were tough. I'm ashamed of what I did. I can't face him again.
You mustn't feel that way, my son.
Father, how did you find me?
My apologies to the young lady, but I wanted to see you. I followed her after she left the shop. What do you say? Let's start over. You set out on your own, did things your own way, stayed true to yourself, working hard to achieve your dreams. And now look what you can do. The recipe that you created was amazing. I've never seen the likes of it before. What can I say except that I am proud of you?
But Father, I left you.
Not in my wildest dreams could I have conceived of such a dish. Indeed, if you had given it to me back then, I doubt I would have recognized its greatness. But worse, I wouldn't have believed you could be capable of such a thing. I always underestimated you, my son. For that, you have my sincere apologies.
It's all right. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for abandoning you and the restaurant when you were struggling to keep it going.
Looks like you two have made up.
Yes. Now let's get to it, shall we? Together. We'll make Seedy's a success again!
And there you go, that's family food complete. You get a nice amount of gil, so you do make profit even though you had to spend money on the food. But it's decent stats as well. There you go. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.